You ever see someone in handcuffs and think, finally, that's one way to ruin a Texas morning? Because that's exactly how it started. 6 black SUVs, FBI, blue and red lights bouncing off million-dollar lawns, a helicopter thrumming overhead, and Vivian Langston Ashford, platinum blonde, still yelling about her community as agents click cuffs around her wrists. "You can't do this to me. I run this HOA," she shrieked, sounding less like the queen of Silver Pine Estates and more like a kid caught with her hand in the world's biggest cookie jar. And all I could think, standing there with my boots in their precious grass, was, "Well, ma'am, that ranch was never yours to sell." She turned, tried to burn a hole through me with those ice-blue eyes, her Gucci sunglasses hanging off one ear, suit wrinkled, dignity shot to hell. "You," she spat. "You're just a cowboy, a nobody." I tipped my hat, let the sun catch the badge stitched into my old leather jacket. Cowboys recognize snakes when they see 'em, Vivian, and I'm a federal land investigator. But rewind 3 weeks, because none of this started with sirens. No, it started with the smell of old money and even older secrets in a law office up in Austin. Horace Henderson, 72, handshake like he could still wrangle a steer, slides a folder across his desk. "Mr. Shepard Kane, your great-uncle Ezra left you the Crosswind Ranch. 427 acres, clear title since 1891. That old map, red ink faded to dry blood, made it clear. An island of independence, one lone holdout, not swallowed up by all the HOA suburbs growing around it. There was just one problem," Henderson said, taking off his glasses, stalling. "Someone's been using your land, Silver Pine Estates HOA, to be exact. They draw my uncle's ranch right into their common areas. Built on it. Sold 12 luxury lots at $1.2 million a pop. Yeah, I could feel my knuckles tightening, scar on my wrist itching, memories of Montana and wild horses and learning the hard way. Patience, timing, knowing when to hold on. I drove 3 hours straight down Texas highway, mind racing, oil derricks dipping like they agreed this was nuts. Uncle Ezra, he was old school. Never married, counted wealth in good grass and sunrises, not bank balances. Only family at his funeral was me. I'd promised him I'd keep the land safe. Never thought I'd be fighting to claim it from a bunch of HOA suits who'd already listed it for sale before his grave was cold. The ranch gate, old iron, granite pillars, Kane 1891 chiseled right in, had new signs slapped over it in screaming white plastic, Silver Pine Estates. Common area. Authorized personnel only. Heat radiated up from the gravel, made my nerves jumpy. Out where the oaks dotted the hills, I saw a new stable, horses grazing. The old farmhouse, 3 stories, my great-great-granddad's pride, now had a real estate sign out front. For sale, luxury lots. That's when the engines roared behind me. 2 white SUVs, HOA patrol logos, skidded to a stop. Out stepped 4 polo shirt guys looking tough, and, behind them, Vivian Ashford herself. She looked like the CEO of No, You Can't, nails lacquered warning sign read, suit so sharp it could cut glass. "You're trespassing on HOA property," she snapped, voice sharp enough to slice the heat in half. I held up my deed. "Ma'am, this is my land. Never part of any HOA." She just laughed, a sound that made my teeth itch. "Honey," she purred, tapping my truck with her perfect nail, "I've sold 12 luxury lots. Collected nearly $5 million in deposits. Buyers move in next month. You're on my property." I stared, ice trickling down my spine. "You sold my land." She faked a smile, pulled out her phone. "Sheriff Morrison?" "Yes, it's Vivian. Trespasser at Crosswind. Possibly armed, cowboy type. Please send units." 5 minutes, she warned, or I'd be the one in cuffs. I left, but not because I was scared, because I needed to make a call. Federal Land Investigation Division. My old job. Some skills don't rust. Some favors never expire. In my motel, surrounded by bad disinfectant and worse dreams, I dug into property records, deed transfers, the kind of databases civilians don't know exist. Vivian's name, 47 properties, 3 states, 19 years. Every pattern screamed, this is bigger than one ranch. She'd started with a close vote, became HOA president, then, one by one, adjacent lands donated by dead or incapacitated owners, forged signatures, backdated notary stamps. My uncle supposedly signed his land over in 2019, except his medical records showed he was paralyzed, couldn't write his own name. That's not a signature. That's a crime. Next day, I went to Magnolia Pines Assisted Living, talked to Opal Whitfield, a sharp old woman with eyes like Texas denim. She'd lost her farm to Vivian's HOA scheme, signed neighborhood safety papers she didn't remember. That woman took everything my family built for 100 years and smiled doing it. Opal told me. She gave me a list, dozens more families, all cheated the same way. People too old or too alone to fight back. That night, a text from an unknown number. Parking lot, blue Camry. Don't bring anyone. Warren Beckley, former HOA treasurer, looked like he hadn't slept in weeks. He handed me a USB. There's 2 sets of books, the one for the auditors and the real one. 19 years, kickbacks, shell companies, money laundering. The judge and sheriff, brothers, were in on it. The whole county, rotten from the roots. Why risk everything now? Warren's voice shook. My mother has Alzheimer's. Vivian wanted me to review her property papers. My own mom was next. That's when he snapped. Next morning, a call from Greer Ashworth at the title company. She'd found notary seals used on Vivian's paperwork that had been reported stolen years before. 17 property transfers. 14 with Colton Murray's stolen seal. I called the FBI. Greer's own sister had lost her house to a forged foreclosure years back, died homeless. This was her fight, too. Of course, Sheriff Earl Morrison wasn't happy. Showed up at my motel with a restraining order, tried to bluff me out of town, warned me how his family ran everything, judge, DA, county clerk, all in their pocket. But now I knew who the players were, and that's the thing about power. You never see the cracks until you start poking. I took everything, USB, stolen notary documents, the whole rotten timeline, to the FBI in San Antonio. Agent Miranda Thorne, tough as old boots, took one look at the files and said, this isn't fraud, it's organized crime. RICO time, federal racketeering. We needed 48 hours for warrants. Vivian tried to calm her flock at the next HOA meeting. I watched from the back as she assured everyone their investments were safe. Call me a troublemaker. But when someone asked about a federal investigation, right on cue, Agent Thorne walked in, badge raised, and said, there is a federal investigation. Mrs. Langston Ashford, don't leave the county. Vivian's mask slipped. For the first time, I saw a real fear in her eyes. The raids hit like a Texas thunderstorm. Helicopters, FBI, black SUVs. They took Vivian's house, Judge Morrison's office, the HOA headquarters, the bank, documents, servers, hard drives, everything. Miranda called, voice fierce. We found 7 stolen notary seals in Vivian's safe. 19 years, Shepherd. She collected them like trophies. 47 properties. $68 million. 47 families, targeted for being alone or forgotten. The sheriff shut down complaints. The judge greased the paperwork. The bank lent dirty money. The clerks certified every lie. In the end, 14 conspirators, an entire ecosystem of greed, all brought down by a rancher who refused to walk away. Warren testified for 6 hours, laid it all bare. His only request, immunity for the little people. Give them protection, and I'll give you Vivian's whole empire. After the arrests, restitution was ordered, $68 million plus interest. Opal Whitfield and the rest finally got their land back, or at least their families did. I went back to the ranch, stood with Greer Ashworth under the orange sunset. She asked why I really came back, when I could have just sold it all. Uncle Ezra once told me, land isn't just dirt. It's memory, family, proof we were here. Vivian didn't just steal property, she erased history. Now we put it back. She nodded. I think we both understood. The morning of Vivian's arrest, the whole neighborhood turned out. Some watched in silence, some filmed, nobody cheered. I walked up to her front door with Miranda and a team of agents. Vivian was a shadow of her old self, raving about lawsuits and her friends in high places. That ranch should have been mine, she screamed. Ezra promised me before you ever showed up, and just like that, she confessed. Miranda thanked her. The handcuffs closed, cameras caught every second. Justice in front of everyone. The dominoes fell. Sheriff arrested, judge resigned, bank execs indicted. The whole rotten system finally cracked open. News outlets ran wild with it. HOA president built an empire on stolen land. But for me, the real victory was seeing Opal, tears in her eyes, telling me she was putting flowers on her grandfather's grave, finally able to say, we got it back. Warren and I stood at the gate, old name shining in the light. Kane, 1891. What now, he asked. Sanctuary for families who lost everything, I said. A place to heal, fight back. That's what Uncle Ezra would have wanted. And here's the thing. People think power makes you untouchable. But empires built on lies always crack. All it takes is one stubborn soul who won't walk away. Land's not just dirt, it's memory. Family. Proof we were here. That was me this time. Next time it might be you. So now let me ask, was justice served, or does true justice even exist in cases like these? Where do you draw the line between law, power, and what's right? Drop your thoughts below. Share your own story, because every voice matters in the fight for what's ours.